In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a box plot. Okay, and so we'll take a look at the basic box plot. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Graphs, we're going to go to Legacy Dialog, and then we're going to go down here. You can see box plot. And so we'll click that. Now we're going to use a simple box plot, but when you come in, it'll actually have this data in chart are summaries for groups of cases or summaries of separate variables. And what you have are separate variables here, so you want to define it that way. And so once you do that, you're going to click define, and then you can come in here and we're just going to look at a couple of box plots together. Now what you'll want to do is take your 2 years that you're going to use for your specific variable and put them in there together. Now I'm not going to do that because then I might show you something that you're supposed to do. What I'm going to do is just put in 2 different variables. So really these two, they couldn't really be compared. It wouldn't make any sense. I'm just kind of showing you how to do this, okay? So just be aware. You will use, I would use IMR 2000 and 2010, or what you'll be doing is like 2010 and 2017 for whichever variable you pick, as long as it's got a 2017. So, but once you do that, you're going to click OK. Then what you can do is you can take a look at if there were any really huge differences between the 2 years. Sometimes you'll see a lot more variation, and so what you're looking at here, the IFR 2000, it's a lot more varied than the IMR 2000 is for this specific scale. Now this, again, it means nothing because we can't compare these 2 variables to one another. They're different. They're not in the same units, but just to give you an idea. Now when it did the case processing, you have to keep in mind that it's actually doing it together. So if you had just done one, and I can show that. Let me just show you one real quick. It's not going to say 184 and 84% because of the way that that this is being done. This is going to change. This is taking the 2 together. That's what it's doing. But if I went to go in and to do this again, let me just show you real quick with just one of them. Let's just take the I'll take that one out. Now watch what happens here. You'll see that. See, now notice that it changed. Now the N's still 217. That's because that's how many countries there are. But what's going to change is, of course, in this case, it's saying, hey, there's 193 valid cases with N of 24 missing cases. 11% essentially is missing. 89% is there. And you had seen this previously if you watched the other video. The point being that that information right there is going to be different. Now look, see, 184 valid cases for both of them supposedly, right? It's actually mixing them together. Versus this one is just looking at the one variable by itself. But don't worry too much about that. I just want to let you know it's gonna look a little different. Now, once you look at the box plot here, what you're looking at, this little line right here, that's the minimum. Keep going to the wrong one. That's the minimum. Here is that 25th percentile. So 25% are in between these two. And you go over here and you read this scale, okay? And if you look here, you can actually change this, and just I double clicked on it. I just want to show you what you could do. You can go in here and take a look at the chart editor. We're not going to actually use that right now, but this here reads it. It's about maybe about 15. You can look back up. We actually did this already, but I already took it out. You can look back up at your 25th percentile and find out where this value is right here. This is the median right there. Again, you're going to read it on this side over here. Here is the 75th percentile, and then here's your maximum. Now, if you have outliers, what you're going to see is it's actually going to outlier. In this AFR 2000, it did have a few outliers. It's going to show you those, and it tells you the values here. It tells you, hey, go to this particular cell and find this particular value. So you have to read the scale here to get what the number is, but it's in 39 and 144 respectively, these two, so you would know where to go to get them. Okay, so the IMR 2000 didn't have any outliers, so that's why you don't see any of those little dots. Okay, so that was a box plot, and that's just a regular box plot. Let's go take a look real quick at a box plot where, oops, give me just a second, I did the wrong one. I didn't click that one. So in this one right here, in one of the exercises, I think it's 16, you're going to need to, so we're going to actually do this summaries for groups of of cases, you're going to need to do it by income category. And I actually have already got this in here, and so let me just reset it so you can see it going in. Okay. Let's reset that. So what you're going to do is you're going to find your variable. Okay, in this case I'm going to use IMR 2000. And on a category, we're actually going to list this by income category. So if it's in category 1, it's going to go into one box plot. If it's in category 2, it's going to go to another. And so it's going to basically do that by the different income category. And so you can change your options on a few things here, but you're not going to need to do that. What I'm going to do is just click OK. And here, what you're looking at, so these are the cases that are in the income group 1, and you need to go look at those definitions. Remember, it's like about $9,300 or above is this income category 4, just to kind of get you an idea. But these are different categories that the country might be in. Okay, and so you can see the outliers. Okay, in the case here, the infant mortality rate, what we would say here for 2000 is that it's much higher. Okay, it's higher for these countries in income category 1 than it is in these ones in income category 4. In fact, it's much lower, just markedly lower here. And again, you got to use the units and talk about it that way. I don't want to give away too much because I'd be doing your project for you, but it's markedly lower here, and you can see by category it changes quite a bit. Okay. Also, what changes is the level of variation here in terms of what the different, there's a lot of variation in category 1, whereas there's not very much variation at all in category 4, comparatively speaking. So hopefully that was helpful. That was a box plot and different things that you can do with that. Okay, that's the end of this video.